He stood on the bridge railing, trembling, and convinced the world didn't need him anymore. But what he didn't know was that the moment he stepped back instead of forward would rewrite the entire course of countless lives, including his own. This is a story about a man who lost everything he thought defined him, only to discover something far more powerful hidden beneath the ruins. It's a journey of heartbreak, failure, and an unexpected spark that changed not just his life, but the lives of everyone who crossed his path. And it begins long before that night on the bridge. The year was 2014, in a small town tucked between forested mountains and a river that never stopped moving, even when people did. Our main character, Elias, was known as the town's quiet fixer. Not because he fixed machines, but because he fixed people. He always had a calm smile, a reassuring word, a way of making anyone feel lighter, but underneath, he had been slowly breaking for years. Elias had lived his life for others, but never for himself. He took care of his elderly mother, worked long shifts at a job he hated, and postponed every dream he ever had because he believed someday would come. But someday never did. One winter evening, his mother collapsed. He rushed her to the hospital through a storm that painted the world white and silent. The doctor pulled him aside with the sentence that tore a hole straight through him. She didn't make it. Elias froze. The world didn't end with a bang. It ended with a whisper. The weeks after her passing became a blur. Work hours reduced, bills piled up. His landlord taped a warning notice to the door. Friends drifted away because they didn't know what to say. He made mistakes, small ones at first. Oversleeping, missing calls, forgetting to eat. Then bigger ones, snapping at coworkers, skipping shifts, shutting everyone out. And one day he walked into work only to hear the words, "Elias, we have to let you go." Everything he held on to slipped through his fingers. That night he walked for hours with no destination, only a storm of thoughts that grew louder with each step. And eventually, the river's bridge found him. He climbed the railing, closed his eyes, and whispered, "I'm sorry." Then, through the roar of the wind, he heard a sound. He opened his eyes. At the far end of the bridge, a teenage girl sat on the ground, crying into her knees. Her backpack lay beside her, half open, papers spilling out, including a note, a goodbye note. At that moment, Elias felt something snap inside him, not with pain, but with clarity. He stepped off the railing, walked toward her, and said, "Hey, you don't have to do this. Not tonight. Not ever." She lifted her face, swollen eyes, trembling hands, and whispered, "No one cares." Elias felt those words like a knife. He had said them himself only minutes earlier. But now they weren't true. Not for her. And maybe not for him either. That girl, Anna, had run away from home after being bullied for months. She had no one else to talk to, except the stranger who was seconds away from giving up on his own life. But because he stepped back from the edge, she stepped back too. The decision that changes everything. Elias made a promise that night, to her and to himself. If I can help even one person feel less alone, then I have a reason to stay. Elias didn't magically become okay. Healing wasn't a switch. It was a slow sunrise. But he started small. He began volunteering at a local youth center, the same place Anna was getting support. At first, he didn't think he had anything to offer, but teens gravitated towards him. His calm voice, his patience, the way he listened without judgment. One evening, during a group session, a boy suddenly broke down, shouting that he couldn't take it anymore. Everyone froze, except Elias. He walked up, placed a gentle hand on the boy's shoulder, and said, "I know what the edge looks like, but I also know there's a way back." The room went silent. Tears welled in the boy's eyes. That moment, that raw, trembling, heart-shattering moment, was when Elias suddenly understood. Everything that once broke him was now helping others heal. Months passed. Elias became a mentor, a speaker, a quiet hero to dozens of teens who needed someone to believe in them. He rebuilt his life piece by piece. A new job, a small apartment filled with plants and sunlight, a community that cared for him because he had learned to let them. And one day, Anna handed him a letter. Inside it read, "Thank you for saving me, and for saving yourself." Elias cried for the first time in years, not out of pain, but out of gratitude. Sometimes the people who look the strongest are the ones fighting silent battles no one sees. Sometimes the moment you think your purpose is gone is the moment you're standing right in front of it. And sometimes, all it takes to change a life, maybe even your own, is choosing to step back from the edge one more time. You matter. Your story isn't over, and the world is better because you're in it.